This Equipment World video is brought to you by Chevron Delo 600 ADF Ultra Low Ash Diesel Engine Oil. It's time to kick some ash.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Equipment World. You're watching The Dirt. I'm your host Brian, and today I want to cover a topic that I didn't really ever think I needed to cover, but through my personal YouTube channel, it's come to my attention. There are a lot of, especially smaller contractors, that aren't charging mobilization fees. They don't factor the mobilization charge into their bid when they tell a homeowner or a builder or whoever you're doing the work for. They don't factor that into their bid. And that's really interesting to me. I can see why, especially as a new contractor in the industry, you might be a little timid about overcharging or charging because that's part of going to the job. But at the same time, that's a really important thing to factor into your bid.
But before we get into that, I want to take a second to tell you about the sponsor of this video, Chevron Lubricants. Protecting your diesel engine and its exhaust aftertreatment system has traditionally been seen as an either-or proposition when it comes to choosing the engine oil that's going to protect your system. And that's exactly why Chevron spent more than a decade of R&D work developing a no-compromise formulation. Now, I don't have to tell you why a clogged DPF is bad news, but here's the real kick in the pants. 90% of that ash clogging up your DPF and then upping your fuel and maintenance costs, it comes from your engine oil. You might be thinking, why don't they make an engine oil with less ash in it then? You'll be happy to learn that Chevron agrees with you. They've developed a new ultra low ash diesel engine oil that is specifically designed to combat DPF ash clogging. Delo 600 ADF with OmniMax technology cuts sulfate ash by 60%, radically reducing the rate of DPF clogging and extending the DPF service life by 2.5 times. Before you had to choose between protecting your engine or your aftertreatment system. Now you don't. Delo 600 ADF with OmniMax technology. It's time to kick some ash.
As we've talked about before on this channel, especially with John Fetchko, you need to know your costs, and that's total cost. That's not just cost while you're on the job site. That's costs that go into staging for the job. Maybe it's design work, maybe it's staging materials, but certainly one of your biggest costs can be mobilization fees. If you think about how many pieces of equipment you might end up taking to a job, if you're a smaller contractor, sure, it might be 1 or 2 pieces of equipment. If you're a large contractor, you're talking maybe a dozen pieces of equipment, and you're not talking a little pickup or a little car. You're talking at least an F-350 pickup hauling a tag trailer, or maybe a dump truck, triaxle dump truck or quad axle dump truck hauling tag trailer, or you're going all the way up to a semi with a lowboy. These are all really expensive things to operate and maintain. And if you're not charging a mobilization fee to cover your costs on your equipment that's made for hauling your equipment to the job, you're really shooting yourself in the foot when it comes to your profit on the job. And I can tell you right now, your competitors are charging mobilization fees, at least the ones that are going to continue to stay in business. It's all part of running a successful company. You have to know what your costs are, and you have to bill the customer for those costs. And one of those costs is just showing up on the job. That's just part of it. And so it's really important as a contractor that you don't ignore that. So really, I don't have a super lengthy video today. I wanted to do this one because I've had enough comments on my videos that I know there are a substantial amount of smaller contractors that are not charging mobilization fees. And so I think it's important to have the conversation. If you are charging mobilization fees, great, good for you, you've got it. But as a smaller contractor, if you're not charging to put your equipment on the job, you are really, really putting yourself at a disadvantage when it comes to running a successful business. You've got to cover all those costs. So like I said, short and sweet, to the point today. You guys have a good one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode of The Dirt.